Hey, this is Zinnia with Bags and Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic, and we'll be talking about why you should buy what you love. And so I have two examples for you for this video, and the inspiration for this video was me watching the fashion shows. I haven't watched that many, probably like 3. I've watched 3 fashion shows, and then I also watched one of Cassie Thorpe's video, which is going to be one of my first examples. So let's go ahead and get into it. So with Cassie Thorpe's video, I think it's so funny that she talks about the TB logo that came out several years ago, and she jokes about saying that it just completely turns her off. And I have a bag from the TB line, and I'm not offended by it. I don't know why people are offended by things when somebody doesn't like something that they have, but that's another video for another day. But anyway, the reason why I say that, I think it's funny the way she talks about it and makes fun of it. And I totally get kind of the thought process where you never thought of Burberry with a TB in front of it. You only thought about it with the Nova check print or the Haymarket print, but whatever. So anyway, so the reason why I mentioned Cassie Thorpe's video is because she was talking about the new creative director that has been switched out for Burberry. So it was Ricardo. I'll throw his name in the title down here because I don't remember it. But he was in for a little bit. He's out, and he had started this TB line. So he tried to kind of revamp and retool Burberry's image, Burberry's style, to kind of pull in more people into the brand. And it didn't quite work out that way. I think sales kind of stayed the same. And so she was talking about how there's this new creative director, and also she was talking about the fashion show. And that made me think about this, because when you do have a new creative director that comes into a fashion house, a lot of times it just depends on the situation. But in this case, she was predicting that this controversial in the fashion world TB logo was likely going to get X'd out, and they were going to go with something else. When you looked at the fashion show, you did not see these bags. They're still on the website now. And so interestingly enough, these bags have gotten as expensive as I think like just under $3,000 or a little bit above $3,000 with all the price increases that they have had over the years since this was currently introduced. I bought this not because I found it to be trendy or anything like that, but this would be a good example of why you should buy what you love. So when she talked about, likely this line going away and them going with a different style of bag and this logo, I thought, and I actually did not get concerned or anything like that, but I thought this is exactly why you buy what you love. So I bought this bag because I like the overall style and shape. And a lot of times when I am looking into handbags, I'm thinking, does this fit my style aesthetic? Do I really like it? And then the other thing I'm thinking of is 5 to 10 years down the line, do I feel like I'm going to still carry that item? I am like a lot of people, and you save up for these items. You're just not willy-nilly just buying things every season. and so these things are expensive. Whether you get them on sale like I did or not, they cost a pretty penny. And so to have this, like I bought this, I think this is my 2nd year with this bag, or 3rd. I can't remember exactly because of the whole, Pandora's box that's happened over the past couple of years. Years are running together. But I just remember, I know I've had this for let's just go with 2 years, okay? And so, let's say by the fall, this is X'd out. Nobody has it anymore. Well, Burberry's not offering it anymore. And I bought this off of a whim, off of a trend, or feeling like, I'm in the in crowd or whatever, just off of trend and not off of, do I feel like this is going to fit my style? Do I love it? Do I like it? And can I see myself in the next 5-10 years carrying this bag? Then I would feel like I probably have wasted my money. And Burberry historically does not sell for a high amount on the resale market. So I would lose a decent chunk trying to resell this. Now, with that said, especially with this likely being an old style now, if it goes out. I initially bought this because I love this hardware. At the time when I was looking for it, I was looking for something, I was looking for a line of, not a line of bags, but basically I was looking for a bag that pretty much had functional hardware. I didn't want something where there was a beautiful logo on the front and in order to get into the handbag, all you had to do was pull up on it. It was a button closure or a magnet. I wanted something where I had to actually use the hardware like I do with this one to get inside the bag. And I think the logo is so beautiful, and I think it's cool. Now, I get the controversy with the TV thing, and it makes me laugh. It's very funny. But that is the reason why I got this bag. I think even if they don't carry this TV logo anymore, which is likely to happen, I feel like this is still a neutral enough or classic enough style that I can still rock this for 10 years. Will the logos be this size? I feel like the logo is a little bit more prominent than on some other handbag styles that I carry. But at the same time, I love how it's put together. Like I said, it's functional. And I think with this style element, this is the pizzazz of it. And I think it works out very well. So this is an example of why you should buy what you love. And because you don't know what the direction the brand is going to move into when you buy something from a line. And when you put your eggs in that basket of thinking something's going to be a classic and it's not, that could influence you to get rid of something, or you then have wasted your money on something that you maybe could have found happiness elsewhere with. So really taking a step back to think about that and think, does this work with my style aesthetic? Can I see myself wearing this bag? And nobody can predict the future. There have been plenty of things that I have felt like I do a lot of thought about it, and then a year or two later, something clicks that day I wake up and I think, yeah, this doesn't work anymore. So that can happen, but you don't want that to happen too often. And so that is really the message of today. All right, so next up is going to be another example. So I did watch the Salvatore Ferragamo's, I was about to say website, their runway fashion show for fall winter. And what was so interesting is they went with more of a more modern, sleek is kind of the vibe that I got from the styles that they were carrying. And the funny thing enough is my favorite, my lovely, I sing praises about this bag all the time, is the Ferragamo Studio. Was not on the runway, y'all. So, Ferragamo is moving, it looks like, in a different direction. Funny enough is when I walked past the Ferragamo boutique recently, old girl was not at the front. It was the new style bags that were seen on the fashion fall winter runway that were at the front. And it's a very different design. So then I thought, oh, does that mean they're getting rid of the studios? And only time will tell. It seems like they were pulling in more of the studios as a classic because it had done very well. They've been doing renditions of it each season for the past several years. I want to say that the studio came out in 2017. So it's been around for a little bit of a time and has done well for the brand. So that made me think about that. And this is another example of why you should buy what you love. So I thought, oh gosh, I immediately thought, well, does that mean my bag is going to be outdated? But this is a classic style. So regardless of whether Ferragamo goes in a different direction, which they have with their handbags recently, you should see some pictures popping up here to see the examples of what I'm talking about. Very clean lines, very sleek, very modern. It just gives me the thought process of what I think about when I think about these style bags that they're coming out with now is more of that modern furniture that you remember seeing in the 60s. This kind of reminds me of that. But this is a classic style. Either way it goes, this is a classic style. We have a kind of boxy type of structure with the two handles at the top, the Gensini logo hardware right here with the plate that, resembles a very famous fashion house that we know. So we know there's some inspiration Fifi got from this bag style right here. But all that to say that either way it goes, this is a classic enough style and I like it enough. I love top handle carry bags. I love very prim and proper ladylike bags. This is like a perfect medium for me where it's like very prim and proper ladylike, but it's got some slouchy appeal to it, so it makes it a little bit more casual. And that is every bit of my style. But regardless of whether Ferragamo decides to continue this line or not, this works with my style aesthetic. It works with the type of bags that I really gravitate towards. So either way it goes, I haven't lost out if this is no longer in stores because this works for me. So this is another example of a bag where you should definitely buy what you love. And if you're anything like me, you're thinking about these purchases. You're just not making a lot of people are thinking about them and not just doing impulse purchase. I can't talk right now. Many people don't do a lot of impulse purchasing. I know a lot of times I'm thinking about it because I need to take the whole process from A to Z to make sure that's really going to work for me. So hopefully this video was inspirational to you. Hopefully this video encourages you to, if you haven't been thinking about your purchases that way, to start thinking about your purchases that way. And also giving you a little bit more inspiration to maybe say, you know what, just because a brand is moving in a different direction does not mean you need to get rid of your stuff. Keep your stuff. If you like it, and you want to carry it still, it works for you, carry that bag. Carry the bag, okay? Nobody can tell you otherwise. You pay for it. It goes on your body. You do what you want. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the comments down below and on my next video next week. Bye.